Life tells us when something is happening for the first time. The first day of school arrives with a new uniform, polished shoes, and a photograph beside the front door. The first tooth is placed carefully beneath a pillow. The first word is repeated to everyone who was not there to hear it. First moments come carrying little flags. They announce themselves, they ask to be remembered. But life does not do this with last times. There is no warning when a child reaches for your hand for the final time. No bell rings on the last afternoon you collect them from school. You do not know that this will be the last night they call from their bedroom because they cannot sleep, or the last time they climb into your bed without asking. It happens on an ordinary Tuesday. You are thinking about dinner, the traffic is slow, there is a bag of groceries in the car, and something in the refrigerator that needs to be used before it spoils. The moment passes dressed as nothing important, and because it looks so ordinary, we let it go. Years later, without warning, it returns. Perhaps you are washing a cup or folding a towel when you suddenly remember the weight of a small hand inside yours. You can no longer recall what the child was wearing. You cannot remember where you were going, but your palm remembers something your mind misplaced. And then you understand. There must have been a last time. The strange thing is that many endings do not feel like endings while they are happening. A family sits around the table arguing about something unimportant. Someone asks for more tea, someone else leaves early, chairs scrape against the floor. Nobody knows that all of them will never sit around that particular table again. There is a last time you walk into your childhood home while it still belongs to the people who made it home. A last time your mother calls you by the name she used when you were 6. A last time your father stands up without needing to hold the arm of his chair. A last photograph taken before the family becomes a slightly different family. Nothing in the room changes at that moment. The clock continues ticking. A spoon remains beside a cup. Light falls across the same familiar floor. Only later does time return and quietly place a frame around it. At first, this knowledge can feel cruel. We begin questioning ourselves. Why wasn't I paying attention? Why was I irritated? Why did I hurry then? Why didn't I stay another 10 minutes? But perhaps we should be careful here. A human being cannot live every ordinary moment as though it were a final farewell. We could not bear the weight of it. Imagine embracing your children each morning as though they were leaving forever. Imagine memorizing every conversation with your parents, or staring mournfully at everyone as they put on their coats. Life would become impossible. We have to believe that there will be another cup of tea, another school morning, another telephone call, another summer. That belief is not carelessness, it is how we are able to live. Perhaps it is a kind of mercy that last times do not announce themselves. If we knew, we might become so frightened of losing the moment that we would no longer be inside it. So the lesson cannot be to hold everything more tightly. Nothing becomes permanent because we cling to it. Children will grow, Houses are sold, voices change, people leave rooms and sometimes do not return. The lesson may be simpler: to be present often enough that although we missed the final moment, we did not miss the whole season. Perhaps you do not remember the last time you carried your child, but you carried them hundreds of times. You may not remember your final ordinary breakfast with your father, but there were mornings when you knew the sound of his footsteps before he entered the room. You may have forgotten the last evening in your old home, but your body still remembers which floorboard made a sound and how the late sunlight reached the hallway. The last moment does not contain the entire love. It merely closes the door behind it. And perhaps somewhere inside us, the door never closes completely. The child is still running towards the school gate. Your mother is still standing in the kitchen asking whether you have eaten. The old house is still holding the afternoon light, not because time stopped there, but because love kept a copy. Even today, something ordinary is happening for the last time. We do not know what it is. Someone may be asking a question they will soon know how to answer without us. A familiar voice may be calling from another room. A person we love may be sitting across the table, distractedly turning a teaspoon inside a cup. We do not need to become afraid. We do not need to photograph everything or transform each afternoon into a ceremony. Perhaps we only need to look up a little more often, to listen when the story is being told again, to remain for another cup of tea when we can, to notice the face across from us, not because it is disappearing, but because it is here. There was a last time. We did not know it, and there will be other last times we will not recognize. But between the first and the last were hundreds of ordinary moments. That is where a life was actually lived. And perhaps that is where love was living all along.